Welcome back to another deep dive on Philly Statline. Today we're breaking down Super Bowl 60, where the Seattle Seahawks dismantled the New England Patriots 29-13 in a game that will be remembered as a defensive masterclass, an efficient offensive performance from Seattle, and a moment that reshapes both franchises' narratives. We're front-loading this recap with the key takeaways, analytical context, and phantom shifts that matter most for fans and bettors alike. From the opening kick, Seattle's identity was clear: control the trenches, dictate field position, and force opponents into low-percentage down-and-distance situations. The Seahawks' defense, spearheaded by their front seven and elite secondary rotations, collapsed New England's protection schemes and turned pressure into points. While the scoreboard showed a modest lead early, the expected points added, EPA chart told a story of growing dominance as the game progressed. Seattle consistently improved its situational advantage, forcing punts and turnovers while stifling New England's attempts to sustain drives. On offense, Seattle executed with surgical efficiency. Quarterback Sam Darnold managed the game with precision, avoiding turnovers and delivering strikes to key playmakers when it mattered. Kenneth Walker III anchored the ground game, grinding tough yards between the tackles and keeping the Patriots' pass rush honest. The Seahawks mixed tempo early, using short passes to set up manageable runs, a strategy that controlled the clock and widened the playbook in crucial moments. Meanwhile, the Patriots' journey to the Super Bowl remains a remarkable story of a rebuild accelerated by young talent and stout defensive play throughout the season. Rookie quarterback Drake may flash the arm talent and poise that made him a top prospect, but in this spotlight moment, inconsistency and pressure disrupted rhythm. The Patriots' offense struggled to flip field position against Seattle's group, which consistently won the hidden yardage battle, third down stops, special teams coverage, and red zone containment. The turning point came in the third quarter. Seattle, holding a lead built largely on field goals, forced a turnover on a tipped pass that gave the offense short field in Patriots territory. This sequence flipped not just field position, but momentum. Darnold capitalized with a touchdown that stretched the lead into 2 possessions and tilted win probability further toward Seattle's favor. New England's response came late and was valiant, but the deficit was too steep against a defense closing windows with disciplined leverage and gap integrity. From a macro perspective, this game should be studied as a model of defensive win conditions in the modern era. Pressure without gambling, coverage shells that limit explosive plays, and tackling accountability that removes YAC, yards after catch. The Seahawks didn't always overwhelm in raw pass rush numbers, but their scheme forced predictable plays that their coverage units could anticipate. Seattle's red zone defense was especially noteworthy, bending in yardage but breaking without conceding touchdowns until the late stages. For New England, the narrative isn't one of failure, but of evolution. Reaching the Super Bowl with a young starter and a revamped roster speaks to strong drafting, coaching adaptability, and organizational resilience. The Patriots will return to Foxborough with lessons learned about tempo control, third down aggressiveness, and constructing a pass game that can reliably sustain drives against elite defenses. Seattle, now Super Bowl champions for the second time in franchise history, validated a season built around complementary football. Their offensive balance and defensive discipline combined to create a game script in which they dictated terms from start to finish. The legacy impact is significant. Not only does this championship solidify the careers of key contributors, it also sets a blueprint for how versatile, resilient teams can win at the highest level. Ultimately, this Super Bowl wasn't defined by a single highlight play or statistical anomaly. It was defined by process. Seattle controlled possession, limited mistakes, and won situational football in every phase. New England competed hard, but the Seahawks' consistent efficiency and strategic execution made the difference. Full breakdown is up now on Philly Statline.